fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Show here, and now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Izuku Midoriya and his familia. Now, Deku's familia exposed themselves in a plot to try and save the heroes. Whenever this plot fell through and All Might was killed, along with multiple other heroes, information was released that supposedly linked these students from UA to the Seikai, or a, mafia family known as the Yakuza. Now, this information is false. The kids are mafia, but just the wrong family. Now, Deku, he was basically given an ultimatum by Vengola 9. With the way Deku's acting, with the way he's doing certain things, he's basically told Deku that Zanzis, the man who is the leader of the Varia Hitman Squad for the Vengola, if he can defeat him in combat, he will give Deku a Vengola box for the Sky Flame. However, if Deku can't beat the man within 6 months or 6 months from today, the Vengola family that he's leading will be taken over by Zanzis. His familia will be kicked out by Zanzis. And Deku, if he's lucky, he'll still be involved in the Mafia. However, Deku's starting to see that as a bit of an unlikely situation if Zanzis does become Vengola 10. Now, with that being said, it has been 3 months since that day, and Deku, he's made improvements. However, at the same time, he's also gone back a bit. Now, Deku, he's been trying to train. Every single day, he attempts to fight Zanzis, and he does get knocked around, the shit kicked out of him, and sent to the infirmary, where Deku does get bandaged up and goes back to training. Now, eventually these hourly matches turned to daily matches, and then weekly. And then there was whenever Deku tried to at least fight him once a week to about once every 2 weeks and once every 3 weeks. And that hasn't really been going too well for him. Now, we do pick up with Deku after he's just got a fresh ass whooping from Zanzis, as he's in his room and he's trying to train. Now, Deku's been in his room since he got his ass kicked, and everybody there are well aware of that. Reborn, he is proud of Deku. He's trying to take initiative, trying to take charge, and train his physical body. However, the boy, he does sometimes miss out on their practice to try and physically train, and get himself to be stronger. Now, there actually is whenever Reborn, he does go to Deku's room today. Him opening the door, as Deku is just sitting there on the floor doing push-ups. And Reborn, he does see that Deku does have bandages covering his forearms. Now, Deku doesn't even really look at Reborn, just staring at the floor as sweat does drip down his nose. Now, Reborn, he does walk directly up to Deku, and Deku, he finally does at least see his shoes before going to look up at him. Now, Deku, he does just continue, before he does actually go to climb up off of his feet, or off of his hands and feet, and go onto his knees, asking exactly what's up. Izuku, you have been missing a bit of practice. Training, sorry. I'm just trying to give everything you have to beat Zanzis. I understand that. I am well aware. However, your Familia, they do need your charge. Without the boss, the Familia is, I understand, reborn. The Familia is nothing without the boss. However, right now, the boss needs to focus on something else. The Familia can run itself without the boss. However, the boss, he needs to be ready and strong enough for the obstacles he does face. If he isn't, Reborn smack him across the face. As Deku does go to look back at the little man. Reborn informing him not to try to give him a lecture about what's right and what's wrong for the Familia. He's been in this line of business longer than Deku's been alive. Now, Deku does just stare at Reborn. Before Reborn, he does just say, training, right now. Get up, get some water, and follow him. Now, Deku, he does listen, as he does at least try to think about everything that's been going on. At first, Deku's power, it was hard to regulate and hard to control. However, if he did have to guess, he got about what? 3 times, 5 times stronger? Just from having his power unleashed or that seal taken off. It was hard to understand. This whole time he's been going at 20%. It's just crazy to him. He doesn't understand how, or even why. If he had this amount of speed and power back then, he could have saved them. But that's not important right now. Now, Deku is just trying to think about what lies ahead. The past is just that. The past. He's learned that now. He's starting to understand it all. Everything that's been beaten into him and he's had drilled into him in the last year, it's just that. It's finally hitting the wall and sticking. Now, Deku, yeah. Reborn's known, or at least noticed his changes. The boy, he is getting there. However, not the way he did expect it. Now, we actually have our Deku. He does go to walk into the elevator and head down. As he does head into a training room where his Familia, they all do stand there. And Deku does look at all of them. Now, Reborn, he does inform them about what's currently going to be happening. The Familia will face off against the boss, as usual. However, they will be given permission to use all of their power, and actually at least try to attempt to harm Deku physically. However, they are all aware that killing is not permitted. Now, everybody, they do understand. And we do actually have where Deku, he does face off against them. Now, this is all quite surprising. People are watching the way Deku just move throughout the air and fly around. Todoroki, he's trying to keep eyes on him, along with even Keno attempting to try and slow him down. But yeah, that's not really working too well. Whenever she does try to at least use her powers, then Momo does at least try to give them a bit of a boost using illusions, that is where things get harder. Deku will smash through every illusion on the battlefield, and even smash through the actual animal that does possess the flames to slow Deku down. Now, it's all quite insane. The Familia there are watching how Deku has improved. And there is whenever they actually do start to get more serious, that Deku, he does at least start to slow down a bit. Now, Deku, yeah. He does find it to be quite strange. Right now he's in the middle of the air and he's doing hand-to-hand combat with Bakugo. Every time he does go to throw out a punch, he does notice that Bakugo, he's either anticipating the hit or he's trying to move out of the way. It's quite strange. Bakugo's body is glowing with his flames, and he's never really seen this before. It's got to be some new move or new tactic. Now, there actually is where Deku, he does actually go to spin around as he does go to throw up his hands to move out of the way, as Denki accidentally just shot Bakugo with his lightning flames. Now, Bakugo does go flying backwards, as Denki does yell sorry to Bakugo. Now, Bakugo does get mad, telling Denki that he was supposed to wait for a different opening. Now, this is actually where we do actually have Todoroki, who he does get to bring up his hand and open his box, as a large wolf does pop out. Now, Deku, he's already aware what's going to happen, as he does go to spin around and bring up his hand to go and do an experiment to destroy the wolf. However, as Deku does go to charge it up, you do actually where the wolf does at least split into three, and he's confused by that. Illusions. Momo. Now, he does go to turn towards Momo, as she does at least have her hands up, and her ring is pouring with energy. Now, Deku is going to move towards her and rush in. If he can incapacitate her, then that would be good. Now, as Deku is going to throw up his hand, you actually have whenever he does do punch into Momo, he does find that it was an illusion, as he was caught off guard. This being where Denki, he does actually go to bring up his hands again and blast out another attack. This being a combination of his lightning flames and his own quirk. Now, Deku would be zapped by this, as he does actually get, hurt, and go falling forwards for a minute. Now, as Deku does fall forwards, he actually does do one thing. He does go spin his wrist outwards, as he does go to blast himself backwards. Now, as Deku does, he does go to flip his body around and try and smash right into Denki. Denki using his ring to create a hardened wall of flames. And Deku does see that. Okay, this is weird. So this is all their improvements. It's insane. He's never lasted this long against them, and they've never lasted this long against him either. The longest match they've ever had. Now, Deku, he's proud of his familia, as the battle does rage on. Until eventually reborn, he does have to call it. Now, if the battle did continue on for probably about another 30 or so minutes, the familia would have been able to actually take down their boss. Reborn, he is well aware of that, and he's fairly certain that Deku is as well. As we do actually have where Deku, he does just look somewhat a bit disappointed and upset. Now, you do actually have Reborn, who does ask Deku if he's alright. No, I'm not. I'm still weak. I need to get stronger. Otherwise, we're all going to hush. Now, Deku does just look down. As Reborn, he does open his mouth and start speaking to Deku and the Familia. All of them have gotten incredibly stronger. In fact, if they were to go against their previous selves, they wouldn't last more than 30 seconds. Now, that's quite surprising. And Reborn, he does tell Deku that he wouldn't even last probably even 10. Now, Deku's quite happy about the compliment. And there actually is where Reborn does inform them all. The Varia Hitman, or the Varia Assassination Group, they're the strongest assassination group in the world. Aside from the enemies, they have no data on them. For right now, they're trying to look into it. Vangola 9, he has returned home, because of the current state of the underworld and what is happening. The simple fact that the Varia are still here in Japan does show how much, or how serious Vangola 9 was on his proposition of replacing Deku. Now, Reborn, he does continue to talk, informing Deku that his Vangola Familia, they've all been working hard on harnessing the power of their flames. Along with that, they've worked hard to use the factor or the abilities of the ring. And Deku, he's slacking on that simple little thing. He needs to try harder. He needs to be well aware of that. Does he understand? Now, Deku, yeah. He does just think about that, as he does nod to Reborn and go to leave. Now, Deku does understand what Reborn's talking about. He's been training and getting stronger for over a year. And right now, Reborn must think that this is the strongest he can get physically. Okay, let's see. I get that part. But they've been training their abilities. Let's see. From what Reborn's talked about and from what I've studied, maybe I need to talk to them all. Now, it does start to click in Deku's mind. That's it. That's what he needs to do. Maybe that's the right answer here. He needs to talk to his familia. They've been working on their factors, but he hasn't. He's been able to work on Harmony? Now, Deku's trying to think. Harmony. If he's remembering correctly, Reborn taught him that this means that he can not only cancel flames, but he should also be able to resonate with them or use other flames. That's how he's able to open the red flame box or the Shigaraki's storm box. Now, Deku's trying to think though. Xanthus, he's a very tough opponent, and the coloration of his flames. What could they be? Now, he just does wonder. He's using some other sort of flame. That's what he has to do. That's what Xanthus has been doing this whole time. Holy shit. He's cracked it. The reason why Xanthus has such a powerful advantage is because his flames are different. It's an entirely new version of the Sky Flame. Now, Deku is just wondering though, if he's going to be going up against Xanthus, his flames are more powerful. They're more destructive. He's using a red flame with his orange. That does make sense. Things are adding up. He notices whenever he does fight against him, he has more trouble punching through or even possibly going against those flames. Along with a gun, you center all that point or mass of a flame into one point. That's why it's so powerful. His flames, as they are condensed into a bullet and they do fire, they do spread out that way, like a shotgun. So, that's just it. He needs something that can go against those flames. Sure, he could try going Xanthus' way, using the same type. However, that's just the problem. He can do that, and it would work. He could beat him. If he does focus on that primarily for the rest of these 3 months, he could win. He does stand a chance. He's already noticed that Xanthus does try more in their fights. However, well, he does have the edge because of this power. So, he can train in secret and not take on Xanthus for the rest of the 3 months, until he does at least start to master this ability. Now, Deku, yeah. There are at least 2 different types of flames he does want to look into first. However, he does also feel that he needs to get out a bit more. Now, we do actually have during dinner, where Deku, he's already gotten showered up along with the rest of his familia. And he's just sitting there with them. Now, everybody, yeah. This whole being stuck inside and not really being able to do very much, it's kind of starting to set in. Now, there's also that feeling of impending doom. Or whenever they do get kicked out of here and they won't be able to come back. Deku, he does actually go to speak up. As he does ask Todoroki about the propagation flame. Oh. What up? What do you want to know about it? Well, I'm curious. I think I know how to train my flames the way you guys have. What are you talking about? Listen, if I can do this how I think I can get an edge on Xanthus, and I can win. Now, everybody they do at least starts staring at Deku. An edge on him? Okay. Midoriya, you do have my attention. What is it you want to know? Now, Deku, he does ask him, is it possible that he can borrow his ring for a second? Now, he does just take off the ring and go to toss it over to Midoriya. Midoriya grabbing it and putting it on. As he does, look down and see that purple flames do come up. Okay, that's good. What is it? Okay, it's like I thought. I can feel the flames here. Yeah, but I don't know how to use it. Wait, you want to use our rings to fight him? Deku, that doesn't sound like too much of a... No, that's not it. The flames of sky. The ones we're using. I can use, or I believe, all 7 of them. That's what makes my flame so special. If I can harmonize with your guys' flames, I can create something to make an edge against Zanzis. I've already understood his flames. I know how to defeat them. I could, well, train with Kirishima and go his route. Zanzis is using those storm flames? Yeah, he is. However, I think propagation might be the best for me. I can throw him off of his game, create the doubles, and mess him up. But that couldn't be just it. You're just talking about using one other flame? No, no, no. Another flame I'm curious about is, well, Genki's, but at the same time, I'm thinking I might be better off with Kendo's. Now, everybody does turn to her, as she's staring at Deku. Huh? My flame? Yeah, I can slow him down. Along with that, I can make copies to confuse him. If he does try to focus on one, it'd be best for him. Along with that, I have more time to charge attacks. He's distracted. He's slowed. It's a perfect idea. It's a perfect strategy. Now, this is where Deku, while he's mid-rant, you actually have Reborn who does come walking into the room. As he does see Deku standing there with 2 rings on his fingers. Now, he was quite surprised, as everybody they do turn to see Reborn, and he does ask exactly what is happening in this room right now. Reborn, I think I understood your words earlier. Did you now? Yeah, Harmony. How can I work on Harmony? I need to improve that factor. You told me once, if I remember correctly, Harmony gives me the ability to use other flames or, well, cancel them out. However, there's more to that. I'm able to turn my flame from hot to cold and turn it into ice, the same way I unfroze Endeavor months ago. So that got me thinking. Xanthus is using a combination of sky and storm, isn't he? So, I need to do the same thing. Now, Reborn he does just stare at Deku, asking him if he really does believe that that is what he can do. Yes, I believe it. I can do this, Reborn. If I learn how to harmonize within these last 3 months, I can not surpass him, but maybe beat him and take him down. He's using 2 flames, but he doesn't use 2 rings. So, that's my whole problem here. Now, Reborn he does just turn around and tell Deku that that might be the right answer, but he can't say for sure. Now, Reborn he does gonna leave, as Deku does look towards Kendo and ask her if she can help him later. What? Help you? Yeah. Try and train this flame? Sure. Todoroki can help you after dinner, but after that, I can give you a hand, okay? Now, with that, we do actually have later with Deku and Kendo. Now, Deku, yeah. Trying to harmonize with the purple flame, that was somewhat odd and strange to him. He's trying to focus on this ability, and he's trying to get a feel for it, but it just seems so, weird and out of reach. Now, Deku, he didn't really know too much to do here, and it was somewhat of a failure. However, we actually do have later on where Deku, he does knock on Kendo's door. Her answering the door as Deku, he does see her. Hey, is it a bit too late already? Oh, no, you're fine. Now, Deku does walk into her room, as he does go to sit down at the desk that she does have in the corner. So, I tried harmonizing with, well, the cloud flame, but that's sort of strange to me. Hmm? Really? Yeah, I'm not too sure exactly, but I think I might need another ring. Hmm? Yeah, maybe. Do you think that that might be your problem? Hmm. That is something I've considered. But at the same time, now, Deku is going to bring up his hand, talking about how he's used the Skyflame before without a ring. Hmm? Really? Yeah. My memories are still somewhat fuzzy about it, but I've dreamt of it before. Hmm? Dreamt about it? Yeah. Apparently those were sealed away with my power. But I'm starting to see things I've never seen before. Experience things I've never experienced before. See people I thought I would never see again. Izuku, I'm not gonna pretend like everything's okay, but I am here if you do need to talk. You know that, right? Hmm? I know, it's just. I'm stressed. You know, whenever I disappeared into the forest? Hmm? Yeah, I've been curious about that. I never asked you because you just seem so calm. It's as if you were just numb with rage. It kind of frightened me. I didn't know if you were. I was gone for a bit of time. Hmm? Yeah, you were gone for about 10 minutes. I know. Hmm? I know. It's just that I. Fuck, I'm trying to figure out where to start with this. There's this thing called the 10-year bazooka. Now, Deku does start to explain it to Kendo, and by the end of it, she does at least look at him and ask if he really did make up that entire story, since it's not very funny. Her going to lean back against the wall as she's going to bring up her legs while she's on her bed. I mean, seriously, time travel? You seriously can't make me believe that Deku just sitting there, with a stone cold expression and actually leaning his head onto the back of the chair. As his chin does touch down, he does just look at her. And he doesn't even blink. This is a joke, right? Deku is still staring at her. Okay, you can't be serious. 10-year bazooka? Bakugo? This can't be. It is. We were supposed to be arrested. We were supposed to all be in jail. I survived because I was the boss. Many things changed. In exactly. What's today? Exactly 2 weeks ago. If we were all still trying to do everything, if I'm not training with Zenzus, if I'm trying to take down our threats, the villains, 2 weeks ago, Momo was supposed to die. Wait. What? You can't be. You can't be serious. Yeah. Yeah. Along with that, so was Denki. So was a lot of other people. I don't know what to do. Hell, 10 years into the fucking future, and you find out that most of your original familia died. Most? Now, Deku doesn't finish that word, or finish what he was going to say. Since he does know how she might react. Oh my god. This this can't be real. Now, Kendo's trying to think. Is this why he's been so strict on them staying here? So strict on training? It makes sense. Who else? Nobody. So, you're trying to get us as prepared as possible before we. Yeah. I want to inform everyone else, but how am I supposed to? I'll sound like a fucking lunatic. I'll sound like I've gone crazy down here. Izuku, it's her going to stand as she does go to lean forwards and go to the side of the chair, where she does just grab onto Deku and give him a hug. It's well, her not really saying anything, as she just does silently hold on to Deku. And Deku, yeah, he's trying to hold back. No waterworks, no waterworks, no waterworks. Deku finally starting to cry, as he does go to grab onto Kendo. And yeah, he does begin to start crying, something that he hasn't done in a long time. Deku thought he lost this ability. He sounds like such a crybaby right now, bawling his eyes out and, well, talking about the future. God, he feels pathetic. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.